Hey folks, Miguel here with hobbyworks.com. I wanted to take a few minutes and share a few things with you today and keep this one kind of short. But first of all, you'll notice I didn't say devildog.games. I have started removing that from most of my online accounts, instead using the Hobbyworks ID, because that's my business. It's more aligned with what I'm doing here on YouTube and Instagram and my website. So instead of saying devildog.games, which used to be my name, I'm going to go by Hobbyworks. So you can just call me Miguel, and hobbyworks.com is my website. First thing I wanted to talk about is a mail call from good old Jeff Elliott. This guy is a rock star, I tell you. I'm going to show you this one real quick, just because I'm excited to open this one up. Jeff heard me talking about my Holy Grail kit a while back, and this guy, man, I'll tell you, he has sent me multiple kits trying to fulfill my quest to find that Holy Grail. And the only reason it's taken multiple kits is because I don't know exactly what the kit was. I got the kit for Christmas in 1980, which I was 8 years old at the time, and it was molded in white, and I thought it was a Bronco, but it turns out it was probably a Jimmy. So in the process of elimination, Jeff has sent me a couple things, and Jeff, I thank you. I appreciate you. Can't tell you what it means to me to have such an awesome community to be part of. But this might be the one. Look at that. And this kit was copyrighted in 1979, which puts it right in the right time frame. And it's molded in an off-white, so that's entirely plausible that this was the kit. That was my first model, my first ever model. So I'm going to cherish this one. I'm going to build it. I'm going to have fun with it, and we'll do some videos on that when the time comes. But Jeff, brother, I appreciate you. Thank you for this. I'm gonna have fun with that one. The second thing, I guess the third thing I wanted to do was to just show a couple parts, 3D stuff. I recently got a new printer. Some of you already know that. It's the Anycubic Photon M3 Premium. The thing is huge. It prints amazing. I've recently switched to the water washable resin, and I really enjoy it. The prints turn out amazing, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to show you a couple of these parts. These are parts to my 66 Chevy custom Fleetside pickup custom trans kit. The kit gives you a nice frame dragger. You use the Revell 60 to 66 pickup kits. You can use any of the kits. You can use, you can use the Suburban. Any of those kits will work. It will also work with other pickup kits, but you may need to tweak the frame a little bit. I have the frame separated in two pieces, and you can slide it in and out to lengthen or shorten it as needed. But I'm going to switch my cameras and show you guys a couple of things here. So these are the axles, and man, these turned out great. I mean, look at the bolt detail on that. Wow. You can see all the little, let me see if I can get that to focus a little bit better. You turn off the autofocus and we'll bring it in just a bit. There we, oh, too far. Look at that. Look at those bolts and those brackets. I mean, that's the detail is just awesome. I love this. This printer is the shit. I recently changed the floor pan from a two-piece or a one-piece to a two-piece. The firewall here used to be connected to the floor pan right here at the front edge. They used to be one piece, and I separated it for a couple reasons. One, as you can see, the print orientation on this allows it to be printed a lot more accurately. You see the rivet detail turns out a lot better. With the other way, you had to sacrifice some face. Depending on the orientation, you might be sacrificing the rivets on the underside here, or you might be sacrificing the flat surface on the back side of the firewall. I mean, I tried all kinds of different print orientations and it just wasn't working out. So what I did was separated it and then did some printing, and it turned out great. And I'll show you how the pieces go together here. This is a print that I just did yesterday, and you can see you've got a little flat face right there and then a flat face right there, and these fit together like this. Now the one thing that I didn't do is I didn't create a little slot right here for this notch, so I need to correct that. But in the meantime, what you can do is you can just take yourself a little file, and it doesn't require much, but you can just file the little notch there, and then once you get your notch about, I don't know, maybe a millimeter, you don't need much, seriously, then this will slide right in there. Just like that. Needs a little bit more. Sorry. I should have done this ahead of time, but I wasn't prepared. So yeah, there it goes. So there it sits nice and flat against there now. And you can just glue up that little gap right there, and man, it turns out great. Look at that detail, the panel detail on the bottom and on the trans tunnel. The detail on the firewall. That stuff looks awesome. And then there's the roll cage. Now the roll cage prints out really well. I was having a problem with it separating right in the middle, and I figured out what the problem was. It was a design issue. I had connected these two bars together in the middle, and there was a face. Each end of each bar had a face on it. So in the middle there was two faces in there, and the printer was freaking out about it. So what would happen was it would print just like this, but it would have a little gap in the middle. It would like basically not be connected. It would separate, and you'd have to glue it. So I've updated it. These print great. Another thing that's part of this kit are the tires and wheels, and this is how I orient them when I print these. I try to orient the tires in a way that the supports will muddy the tread as little as possible, and almost always the wheels I will print flat, so directly or horizontal, 90 degrees horizontal, and they turn out really well. And you can see they print really well. Here's a Tremec. This isn't part of that kit, but look at the detail on that, man. This thing, just incredible. This water washable resin is amazing. The door panels on the pickup kit, you can see that rivet detail. Turns out really good. Drive shafts. I don't know if you can see there's actually splines on this. It's hard to see on camera, but maybe, let me see if I can get it to focus on that. Hold on. Maybe not. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, these turn out great. Let's see what else. This is the back panel. So this is the piece that goes behind the seats up against the back panel of the pickup. I'm printing a bunch of these pickup kits right now because a bunch of people have ordered them. So each side of the front suspension gets an upper and a lower control arm. And this is the lower and this is the upper. The lower has the shock mount. You can see that little slot there. And that's for this little flange here on the shock. Fits in there. And then the top gets glued up onto the frame rail. These are the shocks in the kit. The shocks are actually separate from the center shaft. They are not solid. They actually print separately, so those are pretty awesome. The fuel cell that comes in the kit. You have to forgive my dry, cracked fingers. This is what you get if you don't use gloves when you're working with this resin. Let's see. These are the calipers. The rotors, excuse me. The rears have a larger hole than the fronts. Or maybe it's vice versa. I think those are the fronts because the fronts have this hub. This is the hub for the front steering. And then the wheel pin. So the wheel pin goes inside the hub, sticks out the hole, and then that hole mates to the back of one of the wheels. The front wheels have a little hole right there, and that mounts to that. But these are the rotors, and then these are the calipers. Check the detail out on those, man. These turn out great. What else? Here's the 4-link bars for the rear suspension. You can see they actually have holes in them. So you could pin these. You could use, drill a hole if you were really careful. It's really hard to drill this resin. It's very brittle. But if you had a really sharp bit and you were really careful, you could drill those holes out and then put pins in there, and it would actually be working. But you can see the four 4-link bars, and then these two are the panhard bars. These two shorter ones. The panhard bars. There's a little bracket on top here you can see, and each one mounts a panhard bar. One here. And then one over here, and one goes to the left frame rail and the other one goes to the right frame rail, and they have brackets on the frame rail to connect those two, so those turn out really good. And then, like I said, these are the front hubs, so they mount to the upper and lower control arms, and then there's the steering linkage. And right now the steering arm is here with the little steering box. I'm not a fan of the contoured bars, so I'm going to rework that a little bit at some point in the future. For now, that's the way that it is, but I want to update that at some point. But anyway, so this is what it looks like now. I'll probably do a separate video later on this kit, but for now, I just wanted to show off a couple things that I had updated and take care of that. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for welcoming me to the community. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't, hit the subscribe, hit the like, and come back and watch some stuff in the future. But everybody have a good day, and we'll talk soon. God bless.